I'm going to tell you the truth about independent pilot car driving. The shocking truth about independent pilot car driving is that there is no job security unless you are an independent pilot car driver. That sounds like completely backwards, but I tell you, that's the way it is. Only an independent pilot car driver has true job security. I just want to throw in one thing here, and that is watch that video to the end. And if you like it, only if you like it, click the like button. Now I'm going to tell you exactly why that is. Number one, let's just talk about money. This week, for example, I made $3,040. $3,040 this week alone. The more money you got in your pocket, the more security and survival you have in your life. You will never make that kind of money as a employed pilot car driver, not even close. You're probably gonna make about 20 to 25% of what I'm getting. That is ridiculous. It's just way too small. So now, what stops you from being independent? What's the thing that really backs you off from going independent as a pilot car driver right from the start? There is probably a few things, that I can think of that you may be thinking of, because those things I myself were, considering. I had, worries like, am I going to get enough business? Well, truth of the matter is, yes. How are you gonna get business? A pilot car load board. There's two of them. I recommend one, pilot car load board, is it called? And the other one is called load covered, and I have a whole video on that. Another way of getting business is you watch my webinar, my free webinar. It has, the title of that webinar is 3 Ways to a 6-Figure Income. Those 3 ways are all about how to get loads. And they are really, really hot tips that you won't get anywhere else. So watch that webinar, it's for free. The other thing of a sure way to get business is simply you do my course, because as part of my course, you're going to get the 50 preferred pilot car brokers and oversized load carriers that I personally use. You get the whole list from me for your use. The other thing that maybe, may back you off or causes worry is self-confidence. Confidence in, are you gonna make it? Are you gonna be good enough? Or stuff like that. There is tons of info on that right here on that YouTube channel. I have a playlist here that gets you through all the important videos. The other thing you can do is watch every single video I did. You go to the video tab, which you see up there on the homepage. You click on the video tab, you go to the bottom of all the videos that are there, and you start with the bottom video and you work through all the videos up in chronological sequence. You learn everything I ever learned. Now, if that is not enough, or if you don't feel secure about that, I understand. That is definitely can happen. Then do my course, because part of the course, I do mentoring. And I'm not too bad at it. Okay? Yeah. Another worry you may have is, do you know how to establish a business? The business of pilot car driving is probably the easiest business to establish. Really. It is really simple. All you need to do is go to the IRS website and get an EIN number. That's an employer identification number. Get that number. That's it. Next, Google how to set up an LLC in my state. Follow the instructions. If your state is kind of asking you for a lot of money to set up a business, skip it. Just you set yourself up as a self-employed person. You got your EIN, you can call yourself self-employed. Your business name is going to be a DBA. It's called the Doing Business As. Give yourself a business name, And that's that. It's as simple as that. America has probably the easiest way to set up a business of anywhere else in the world. Again, if you want to have more in depth on that, totally okay. Just watch the webinar that also has business tips on it, and then you can go to the course if you want, and then you get a real detailed rundown of how to set up a business that is going to make you a lot of money. Another consideration you may have is money. Because it is true, you have to lay out, you have to put out a bit of money. Let me tell you what I did. I just put the whole stuff, everything on a credit card. If you don't have a credit card, if you can't do that, it is not a problem. This is the one situation where I would agree with, then don't start as an independent driver. Work for somebody else, and then as soon as you have enough money, then switch over to independent pilot car driver. That's how I would do it. But most of you are going to have a credit card, and I just banged it on the credit card and I made twice as much money back in the first months of pilot car driving as a rookie. Now, here is my observation though. The biggest downside that I see for anyone who starts to work for somebody else and hopes that that person will groove him in and really show him the ropes. Here is my experience on that. Recently, I was driving with a trucker. At the end of that trip, that trucker was so upset with that front car, mostly because the guy really only had a certain set of things he said or observed. He was in a sort of a real, fixed frame of mind of what he was saying to the trucker. That wasn't helpful to the trucker. That trucker told that car to go home. That guy was a pilot car driver that was employed by somebody else. That pilot car driver then told the trucker the things he was telling to the trucker during the trip were the things that his boss told him to say. He told him that the boss took him on a short trip and showed him, say this, say that, and that was it. In other words, that guy really missed out on the scope of it. What's the big picture, that he was supposed to take care of? So what the trucker then replied to him was, okay, here's what you have to do. You already had that little grooving from your boss. You need definitely more. And you should do the course that Herbert has, the back guy. He has a course, do his course. There is two solid routes to get into this business. One is the YouTube channel, the other one is my course. So pick one of them. I'm putting up a playlist here. Watch that playlist. Start with the first one. Go one after the other. Don't abort early. Watch them to the end. All right?